Hello and welcome to the channel. My name as always is Jamie C. I hope you are doing well and welcome to another minute review video. This is a place where I review a song, an album, a project, a piece of tech, or some music news in a few minutes, which hopefully gives you a chance to find what you're looking for and spend more time experiencing it. Now today we are looking at the revolutionary-esque album from the Chicago born and bred punk rockers Rise Against. We are indeed looking at their album, The Nowhere Generation. So without further delay, let's get into it. Now I'm sure you will be aware that Rise Against have been rocking the scene for more than 2 decades, and many reviews have tipped this latest album as a demonstration that this quartet is as prolific as they ever have been. Now I'm afraid my analysis falls in a very similar vein. The Nowhere Generation embraces everything you would want from a Rise Against album. There is pace, there is rock, there's punk, there's politically fueled subject matter, and of course there's the relentless vocal tone that we have come to associate with this quartet. But what makes this album so good is not because this is another solid set of tunes from the Chicago rockers. It is actually the quality of which these songs are produced and how they reflect aspects of contemporary society. Now throughout this album, there are topics such as the decadence of the American dream, climate change, and the overbearing feeling that your voice is lost in a crowd of lost voices. This album demonstrates that while this band have been producing music like this for 20 years, they are still a relevant voice in today's scene. They are very much contemporary in their message, and they are stronger than they ever have been. The album has 11 songs and a runtime of just under 42 minutes, and it embodies everything that you would expect from a Rise Against album. There are anthems, there are punky guitarists, there are bouncing choruses, and there's a beautiful contrast between the choruses and the slightly slower verses. Now this album kicks off with a record called Numbers, and at the very start of this, it sounds like there's a bit of a radio transmission of perhaps maybe a national anthem or something nationalistic before the familiar guitar sounds power through into your speakers, and we are launched into an album that could have only been created by Rise Against. From here, the album is very much similar to what you will have heard before, and it doesn't really slow down. There are plenty of catchy choruses, plenty of awesome guitars. Songs like Sooner or Later, or even the title track Nowhere Generation, are certainly going to be crowd pleasers, which you will be crowd pleasers in a live scenario, but also on the album. Now sadly, there's not much that can be said about the musical character that's not been said before. Yes, the guitar riffs are fun, they're experimental, and they are indeed one of the 3 driving forces that make this album successful, the others being the vocal line and the dichotomy demonstrated between the choruses, the breakdown, and the verses. But as some viewers have said, it is basically a Rise Against album. It's nothing new. They've not reinvented themselves. Do they need to? Probably not. But you're not going to find anything that you haven't heard before. Having said all that, there are 2 standout tracks for me. The first one is Broken Dreams Inc., and the other one is Forfeit. Now, Broken Dreams Inc. embodies for me feelings of prayer of a refugee and re-education through labor, as well as some elements of savior. So it's very much a song from Rise Against, but I feel like it incorporates a lot of elements that these songs had and reinvents itself into a bit more of a contemporary manner. Now the duality of the heavy bass line with the more prominent guitar parts makes this song seem a little bit more rocky than other numbers on this album. That's not a bad thing, it's just different. And I also feel like this one is a bit more raw with emotion. I can definitely hear the lyrics, and I can definitely feel that emotion hit a lot harder than I did in any of the other songs on this album. I particularly enjoyed the bass breakdown around the 3 minutes and 10-second mark. Absolutely love that. And for me, this is definitely the rockiest song on this album and my favorite when it comes to the rock. Forfeit, however, is very much a ballad type song. It's more acoustic in its sound. Well, it's entirely acoustic in its sound. And yes, there are some violins and there's some pianos, which make a nice melodic background. But this whole song is raw with emotion and feeling. It has a punky character, which you can't not have when it comes to Rise Against. But I feel like this song, it's so different from everything else. And yes, it breaks apart this album, which you could argue could be monotonous, but I don't think it is. and I really enjoyed this one. So definitely Forfeit and Broken Dreams Inc. are 2 songs to check out. And production wise, this album sounds great, and it sounds exactly like I would have imagined it would before it came out. Each song has body, it has presence, each song evokes energy, and it just sounds great on your car stereo system, and it would sound great on a full body PA system as well. So overall, I think this is a really solid album from Rise Against. It does nothing to rock the boat that they've been sailing for a while, but does it need to? I don't think so. I think Rise Against have established themselves as what they are, and this is what they do, and this is a good album that demonstrates that. But what did you think, my friends? Was this album good? Was this album bad? Are there any particular songs that stick out for you? I would love to hear your thoughts. Please let us know in the comments below, or you can even message us on Twitter at Elevate Reviews, or even message myself at the Jamie C on Twitter. Remember to subscribe if you like reviews and analysis of the music industry, and please give us a like if you like this video, but if you didn't, then give us a thumbs down and let us know why in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you on the next video. Peace.